Hello everyone, I'm Chi Hong from Beijing University. Welcome you to our course, Intercultural Communication. This is the first section of Chapter 1. In this chapter, we'll talk about the definition of intercultural communication. You may come across these two words, intercultural communication and cross-cultural communication. The former one focuses on what is happening when people from different cultures have contact with each other, while the latter one emphasizes the difference of different culture communities or groups. Now, many scholars do not distinguish between these two terms. We prefer to use the former one in this course. Do you know this girl? Her name is Liu Yang. She was an artist and a visual designer. She was born in China and lived in Germany since she was 14. By growing up in two very different places with different traditions, she was able to experience the cultural differences between the two countries firsthand. Drawing from her own experience, Liu Yang created minimalistic visualizations using symbols and shapes to convey just how different the two cultures are. Finally, she published her famous book, East Meets West. From the picture, we can see that the blue side represents Germany or Western culture, and the red side stands for China for Eastern culture. Intercultural communication occurs when Liu Yang went to Germany because she had to communicate verbally or non-verbally in different cultures. As you know, American or Germany belongs to the low context culture, while China belongs to the high context culture. They speak different languages, take different attitudes towards punctuality. Punctuality is something many people struggle with. To Americans or Germans, punctuality is a way of showing respect for others' time. Being more than 10 minutes late to an appointment usually calls for an apology and maybe an explanation. But in China, it is not considered late if you arrive within 10 minutes of the agreed time. From this, we can say that people living in different cultures share different experiences, which may result in lots of misunderstandings when they meet and communicate. That is why we need to learn something about intercultural communication. Intercultural communication may be understood as a practice called in Chinese 跨文化交际, which focuses on the pragmatics of language teaching. It can also be regarded as a discipline called 跨文化交际学, which implies it is a multidisciplinary course. Finally, it can also be generally called 跨文化交际 without any distinction. As a phenomenon, intercultural communication is really universal. It takes place everywhere, in your academic life, when you talk with an American lecturer, in business environment, when you correspond with a Western customer through email, in your everyday life, when you watch a French film or read an American novel. So what is intercultural communication theoretically? According to Rogers, intercultural communication is the exchange of information between individuals who are unlike culturally. Edward T. Hall simply defines intercultural communication as a communication between people from different cultures. Hu Wenzhong, a well-known professor of intercultural communication in China, defines intercultural communication as a communication between people of different cultural backgrounds. So, in its broad sense, intercultural communication occurs when a member of one culture produces a message to be understood by a member of another culture. In its natural sense, it is a communication between people whose cultural perception and symbol system are distinct enough to alter the communication event. As a discipline, intercultural communication should focus on the mainstream of a nation or country. Intercultural communication in this course will mainly deal with the following scopes. Chapter 1, Intercultural Communication. Chapter 2, Communication. Chapter 3, Culture and Language. Chapter 4, Culture Values and Culture Patterns. Chapter 5, Verbal Communication. Chapter 6, Nonverbal Communication. Chapter 7, Intercultural Communication Barriers. Chapter 8, Intercultural Communication Adaptation. Chapter 9, Intercultural Communication Competence. In conclusion, the contents of this course will focus on what, why, and how. What are the cultural differences? Why are there such differences? And how to deal with these differences?